Fit4U is a virtual reality experience that masquerades as a fitness app. Users are encouraged to relax and unwind as we collect their data through questions asked during the experience. As they answer these questions, both verbally and via a user interface, we build a personalized profile to show them all the information we collected. Our aim is to trick users by having them trust us with their sensitive data and then betraying that trust by displaying all of it to them in the form of a data breach. We hope that this will make users more aware of how much information they are giving away willingly and to become more cautious with it. The experience starts when the user is approached by our yoga ambassador, and they are asked if they would like to try a personalized fitness VR application. The user is then asked to write down their full name, their email, and their phone number so that they can be contacted when it's their turn. During the experience, the user is in a glass room with a beach as a background. They are greeted by the personal trainer that is in the form of a robot. The screens indicate survey questions the user must answer. The only control that the user uses throughout the experience is the right trigger. There is a pointer for the controller to guide the user's cursor on the screens. Afterwards, the yoga session begins. The trainer guides the user through breathing exercises and simple yoga poses, all while asking them some simple questions about their lives. Users will disclose things about their hobbies, their lifestyle, and their geographical location. All of this information is recorded behind the scenes by other team members that are also listening to the conversation, so it can be displayed during the data breach. As an extra touch, there is another team member that Googles the user based off of their name, email, and phone number that they provided at the beginning of the experience. Once the user feels relaxed and comfortable, a team member launches the data breach. The screens flicker, and suddenly, all of the data that the user inputted in the beginning and talked about during the experience is displayed on the screens around them. They are given about a minute to examine all of the information that has been found and reflect about their privacy. Then, the screens flicker again and the user is back on the beach. The trainer continues to tell them to breathe as the yoga ambassador comes back in to take off the headset. The yoga ambassador deflects any questions about the data breach and tells them to focus on the beach and the relaxation that they felt throughout the experience. The user is then led to talk to a quality assurance personnel that will handle any questions or concerns about the experience. However, the questions that the person asks the user are very personal and uncomfortable. Unbeknownst to the user, the quality assurance personnel is actually a hacker who continues to gain personal information on them. In order to create this experience, we started by ideating on concepts we cared about. After we narrowed down the topic of cybersecurity, we delved into why this topic mattered to us. The lack of awareness about information privacy worried us, and we wanted to make the general public more aware of how much of their data is readily available online. We then began doing embodied prototypes that encompassed our core user experience. Once we nailed down how we wanted the interaction to look and feel like, we began working on implementing the microphone technology to communicate with the user, the environment the user would be situated in, the back-end user interface the team members would use to record information, and the robot that the users would interact with. The project was built using the Unity engine. We created our own scripts using the programming language C# to handle things like the processing of user data. The survey that the user answers is inspired by surveys used by a typical fitness app. Similarly, the interaction design is inspired by interfaces like smartphones and computers where such apps are usually used. In order to gain the trust of users, real-time voice interaction is used to guide the user through the rest of the experience. To create a comfortable and quiet place for the user, we created a room with grates connected with sound-resistant boards that were covered by blankets and pillows. A yoga mat was placed in the center for the user to stand on. Connected to this room was the computer needed to run the VR headset, the microphone to communicate with the user, and a laptop to hear what the user was saying in the experience. This area was also sound-resistant to allow clear communication between the personal trainer and the user. Exaggerated feedback is what we used in order to communicate our core message to users. Cyber attacks are not always immediate. Therefore, often it is difficult to see how important a user's information is. By showing users how much information they give in an experience, and also showing them its potential applications, they are better informed of the dangers of cybersecurity.